So here we go then. First round of the qualifying before the snow set in. Despite the freezing temperatures outside, there was a great crowd at Santa Pod, eager to see the alcohol action. And first men out, two Brits. Craig Lowe's from Welwyn Garden City with his dragster. And running alongside him, the wild altered of Birmingham's Michael Moore. Now, we were talking about funny cars earlier on, saying that they have got a short wheelbase. This is even shorter. And with the alcohol-burning engine, it gives Michael wild rides. Craig Lowe's, however, this season, sporting a new body and paint scheme and looking for some good times, having run previously down into the mid-sixes. So here they come, up to the start line and away together. And it's Craig Lowe's that gets out in front first of all. But Michael Moore powers by at the top end, scores himself a 787, and there's problems there for Craig Lowe's. Well, here's a full-bodied funny car. This is Ken McCormack's ride. And he's running alongside Andy Hill. Andy Hill in a car with a lot of history attached to it. Both of these drivers can be described as rookie drivers. Ken McCormack in the Corvette funny car, only completing his first season last year. Andy Hill in this ex-Dennis Priddle, ex-Barry Sheevel's car, is in his first major season. Well, Ken McCormack just cannot get that car to run straight. And it's the rookie who gets to the top end first, Andy Hill, who nets a 971 at 136 miles per hour. Well, a car sounding really sick was Bernie Hepworth's white Ford Probe. But the man giving us a storming burnout there in the other lane, Sweden's Krista Johansson, says, hey, I'm set up for business, but poor old Bernie's out of the car. A fuel problem there means the car is sidelined, and Krista, despite shutting off, goes on the power again and gets himself a time of 784, 195 miles per hour. Well, Rob Turner, the man from Higham Ferries, just a couple of miles away from the track, really puts down a good burnout. And he's joined in the other lane by Romford's Frank Bennett. Now, Frank is in this beautiful Fiat Topolino Altered, another wild riding car. They both come back behind the start line. Rob Turner's ex-Corey McLenathan car. This car has won lots of trophies and championships in America, now running in alcohol in Great Britain. Rob finished 5th last year. Frank finished in 23rd spot. But Frank's really giving his all here as they go for their first quarter-mile runs, but it's Rob Turner gets to the top end first, a 687 for him, and that gets him the number 4 qualifying spot. Coming round together, the two Swedish funny cars, Leif Helander and Michael Kagerad. Kagerad in the beautiful Ford Probe, last year's champion in the Top Alcohol Championship. Now, he's the man that everybody this year has seriously got to consider defeating. He's a great friend of the man in the opposing lane, Leif Helander. Now, Leif ended up 3rd last year in the championship, so it's going to be tough here in this first round of qualifying. Well, Leif Helander from Matfors in Sweden drives, of course, a prime example of Swedish hardware, a Saab 900 Turbo. Well, Kagerad is away first, and he scorches down the quarter mile and records the top qualifying time, 6.43. Well, our next pair coming out together from Sweden, Tony Donges, and from France, Bob Fieler. Now, Bob is a fairly unknown quantity to us at Santa Pod, only having been here once before, but he always seems to run the right numbers and seems to have the right equipment. So there's a lot of eyes on the man from France. And in the opposing lane, from Sweden, Tony Donges, in the Nintendo sponsor car, a man who's been around the tracks of Europe for close on 20 years. But it's Fieler who gets to the top end first with clouds of smoke coming out of the engine. Some serious damage there. Well, even with that run, Bob Fieler gets himself the number 3 spot at 6.80. And Tony Donges gets himself the number 5 qualifying spot with a 7.04. Well, if you like wild paint schemes, you'll love this one. This is Urs Erbacher from Switzerland, the country where they're not allowed to compete in motorsport actually in the country. And he's qualifying alongside Britain's Tony Betts. Now, this was quite exciting to watch because they brought Tony Betts' all-new car down to the start line under wraps and only unveiled it as they started it up. It's a brand new car, it's a Nissan ZX300, and of course Nissans are highly prized in this country with their own fan club, and I'm sure that Tony is going to attract a lot of attention in this machine. Erbacher in his Dodge Daytona, when he's not drag racing, this man is weightlifting, and if he tells you he's won, he's won. They approach the start line. Look at these beautiful examples of 2 state-of-the-art funny cars. Well, a little bit of tyre spin from Urs Erbacher. Tony Betts getting a little bit out of shape there, but Erbacher gets 7.09 and nips it. Our next pair come round, and one of the crowd's favourite at Santa Pod, the lady from Finland, Anita Michaela. She completes a really strong burnout, and it's hard to imagine that when she's not racing, this lady is a chicken farmer. The man in the other lane, Paul Jackson from Essex in England. Paul with his car purchased from a champion, Juha Leppänen from Finland. Now, he should be able to match the car of Anita Michaela, but there are still 1 or 2 teething problems with it for Paul, and immediately he brakes on the start line, allowing Anita to solo through, collecting number 2 qualifying spot with a 6.49 at 196 miles per hour. Well, this is how they finished up. Anita Michaela just coming in second behind Michael Kagarad. Well, we'll catch up with the top alcohol racers again very soon for round 2 in Finland. That's it from us now. We'll be back with more nitro action with round 1 of the European Top Fuel Series from Santa Pod in England. Meanwhile, we'll take a break and be back with Spider-Men on the big wall.